Hello everyone, welcome to the next episode on SAP UI5 and FIORI training. In the last episode in SAP UI5, we talked about MVC architecture. In today's session, we will go ahead and discuss about how to use SAP UI5 SDK more detailedly. We will also discuss about how to start with XML views. Let's get started and see the SAP UI5 SDK one more time. In the last episode, we saw the SAP UI5 SDK actually, and we just saw the documentation section. The documentation section gives you the complete information about end-to-end documentation of entire UI5. This should be your single endpoint for all the references regarding any topic which you want to understand or understand some theory part of it, or want to read something more about SAP UI5. This should be the point of contact for you. This is the latest and greatest up-to-date document on SAP UI5. It also tells you about the versions of SAP UI5. You can see the versions of SAP UI5. SAP is updating the version of SAP UI5 almost every bi-weekly release. So the sub-versions with patches are released every week, and the main versions are released on every quarter. So what is that comes in every quarter is what is updated here with SAP UI5 SDK. So you can see what is new in 1.58 library, what is new in 1.56 library, what are all the previous versions we have. If you have some specific queries about the versions, you can always check that. Another interesting point which you would like to ask yourself, or somebody may ask you, what is the latest version of UI5 we are currently working on, or which is publicly available to be used. The version here you can see on the top right corner, this is the latest SAP UI5 version. This is a big confusion today for many people, and there are many myths around it. Okay, this is the latest and greatest version which is available for public use. In the public domain, it is can be used by any company, partner company, or customers of SAP. They can use the latest version as 1.58. This is the version of SAP UI5 which we can use, the latest version of UI5. So whenever you're running an application, you can actually choose the version with which you want to run your app. We will be discussing more about this in detail in upcoming days. But this is one important information to keep in mind, the latest version. Let's move on now and look at the API documentation. This is the place where you will find the complete documentation of every single control. For example, button. Now if you search for button control, press enter, you will find the button control over here. Yeah, you will also find the button control somewhere else also. You see, there are a lot of other places also you see the button control. Yeah, you can see that. But this is the button control which belongs to SAP-M library. Now, when you look at any documentation, you will see lot of information on the right hand side. What is this information you see? So let's talk about this information quickly. The first information is the class name, which is absolutely okay. The control sample, it's a link to navigate directly to the samples. Samples will guide you how the button can be created, what are the variations you can give to the button. It gives you some sample code, ready-made code. Then comes is subclasses. Guys, understand the complete set of controls, all these controls are actually classes. So there will be some child classes of this button control. Yeah. So there's a question Syed is asking, do we work only with one library? No, we will work with multiple libraries. Okay, so please hold on, Syed. It's a heavy dose right now. Please park your question at the moment. Now, this button class has more subclasses. We can see those subclasses in a minute. Then this visibility of the control is public. Anybody can use it. It's not restricted. Then we have UX guideline. You can also go to the user experience guideline for the control. What should be the ideal situation you should use the button? How should it look like? Where can you put it? How will it be positioned on the screen? All these things are the guidelines which are given here. Then comes implements. So there is a specific class which also implements this button, iForm content. So you can place the button inside this class iForm content. Means iForm content is an interface which this button class is also implementing. Now it is available since not applicable, which means it is available since first version of UI5. Not applicable means is this. So there are certain controls which are only specifically mentioned with one, let's say version 1.56. Now if you use that control which is on 1.56 and your company is on lower version, the moment you deploy your application it won't work, because that control is available from version 1.56 and your company is on 1. Let's say 44. Control kaise chalega? Many people come to me and complain about, Anubhav, we created the FIORI app, but when we run the FIORI app in Web IDE it is working fine. The moment I run my FIORI app in SAP system, it doesn't work, Anubhav. What is wrong, Anubhav? Please help me, Anubhav. I cannot help you. You need to help yourself. This is why the training. So here you see the version is very important. Of every control you have to see which version it belongs to, what is the relevant version, is your company having that version in the system. If not, then of course कैसे चलेगा? वो version तुम्हारी company में ही नहीं है, कैसे चलेगा? It has to be in your company, right? That version has to be there. The control which documentation is telling you, that version has to be there in your company, then only your app will work, because you use that control which is available from that version. Then extends, I'll come to this in a minute. Module, every control which you see here with the dot, instead of dot you can put a slash. Okay, instead of dot you can put a slash and that becomes a module name. Again I repeat, every control you see, instead of dot when you put slash, instead of dot when you put slash, it becomes the module name. What is the uses of module? A module uses is for the purpose of reusability. Okay, it is for the purpose of reusability. We will discuss that in a minute also. Then comes his application component. Suppose one of you has found an issue in this control. You're working with button control and there is some absurd behavior for this button control. होता है ना कभी कभी standard code में भी bug आती है. So you are working with this control and there is an absurd behavior of this control. You are unable to fix it up. This is something you feel looks like an standard SAP issue. In that case, you will be reporting a ticket, right? And guys, have you ever opened an OSS ticket, an SAP incident? If you ever opened it, you would know that there is a mandatory attribute called component. That is what this component is. If there is any issue in future with the control, with this control, if you're facing some issue, you want to open an OSS and let SAP investigate, this should be the name of the component you will be giving. Okay, is that clear? Then we see here, since it's a class has a constructor. Constructor means it's a method which gets called automatically. Constructor also has parameters. We have properties which are attributes of an object. Associations I will come to in a minute. Events we already saw. Press event for button. So event is something which gets triggered when an activity is performed on the UI control. Methods are the behaviors of the object. So now in this page we have actually not discussed right now about this gentleman. We have not discussed more about this gentleman, and we have not yet discussed more about this gentleman. These three things we have not yet discussed. We will discuss that now. So let's first start and understand how SAP UI5 is designed. This is very important point for all of you to understand. SAP UI5, how it is designed. SAP is a very smart company. They have not designed things just like what we think. Okay, they have designed keeping things for future. Okay, future is what they always keep it in mind while designing. So they have thought of a good future for UI5 that's going to be scalable It's going to be multiplying the controls. It's going to be having lots of features going forward. That's why SAP UI5 is designed like this. So what happens actually, every control in SAP UI5, whenever I'm saying control, guys, remember, whenever I am saying control, I am referring to UI control. We refer to UI control. Clear, everybody? This is one funda fox for today's session. Now, how SAP has designed their controls. Now, when you look at SAP controls, any control, majority of SAP UI5 control, they are following object-oriented principles. As we already saw, that each control is actually a class. So guys, I'll write some diagram here. Let me see how many of you can tell me what is this diagram represents. Okay, let me see how many of you can tell me what is this diagram represents in context of object-oriented world. Anybody? Can you guess what is this diagram represents in object-oriented world? In object-oriented world, what is this diagram represents? Vivek is saying inheritance. Perfect answer. You are right, Vivek. Hemendra, you are right. Yes, Mad, you're right. This represents inheritance. What is inheritance? If you have a class A, there is a class B which can inherit from class A. What is the purpose of inheritance? Pawan, this is not right. Pawan, it is relationship is not right here. It is called inheritance. Okay, inheritance, not relationship. So if there is a class class B can become a child class of class A. So class A is acting like a super class and class B is acting like a child class. What is the benefit of inheritance? The benefit of inheritance is reusability. Okay, reusability. What is reusability? If you have a method or a property in the base class, which is class A here, that automatically makes it available in the child class. Okay, it is automatically made available to the child class. That is the benefit of using the inheritance concept. Let's take an example. If I create a class called class plane, and if I have a class called class plane passenger, and I have also a class called class plane cargo. Okay, so I have a class plane and then I have a class passenger and class cargo. Now tell me guys, what do you think? Don't you see these two classes belongs to plane family? Anybody? Don't you think cargo plane and passenger plane, they are actually types of planes? They are actually same family. So if I want to put properties like width, height, color, airlines, don't you think these properties, width, height, color, airline code, engine, whether it's a 2-engine, 3-engine, don't you think these properties will be common in both the types of planes? Don't you think width, height, color, airline code will be common? So will you put the properties again and again in every single plane class you create? Will you put these properties in again and again every single class you create? No, na? You would rather create another class called CL underscore general plane, and you will put these properties in the general plane, and then you just do an inheritance. Hey, please inherit, please reuse whatever the base, whatever the parent is doing. This concept is nothing new for you. You have seen this concept. जब बाप मर जाता है तो बेटा उसकी कुर्सी पे बैठ जाता है, right? In a family, when the father dies, what the father does? Father distribute his properties, movable, immovable property, including everything the father has, to its children. Correct, guys? That's exactly happening here. This is the father class, this is the mother class, this is the parent class और this is the super class. कितना भी नाम ले लो, ये सब अलग अलग books में अलग अलग नाम है, concept same है. Every book which you read has different names, concept is same. Some people call mother class, some people call base class, some people call parent class. Doesn't matter, concept change नहीं होगा, नाम change करने से concept change नहीं होगा. Okay, so now this is the class plane, and in this we have put the common properties of airplane. And now we do inheritance. The moment you do, all these properties automatically gets inherited to child classes. Did you all understood the concept of inheritance? Ideally, I should not teach this concept. This is something which you know as a software engineer. This is very basic concept of software engineering, oops programming. Yeah. So, but still just a quick refresh. So then this is inheritance. Now the second concept which you might not have thought till date is relationship. Now let me draw another class here. I draw a class called passenger class. What is an attribute of a passenger? I'm not talking about passenger plane. I'm talking about passenger. What is the attribute of a passenger? Passenger passport number, passenger name, country, nationality, gender, right? These are all the passenger properties. Do you think these properties belongs to same property of the family of airplane? Do you think the plane has same property? Is this a same family? No. Passenger would be a family of person or a human, right? That's what it will be a family of. So, but our entire software is modularized in small classes. Can the software work without collaboration between classes? Can a software work without collaboration between classes? Can a software work without collaboration between the classes? It cannot. That is why we use collaboration. We connect these two classes. How do we do that? That's called relationship. Pawan, you were talking relationship. This is what that relationship is. Yes, inheritance is also relationship, but it's not called relationship. It's called just inheritance. Now, passenger class. How many passengers a plane can carry? 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 It can be 0 or multiple. It can be 0 or multiple. Again, I repeat. Can a plane fly without passenger? Can a plane fly without passenger? Can a plane? Yes, it is possible to fly a plane. कभी देखा है कि प्लेन में बोल रहा है कि मैं नहीं उड़ूंगा, तुमने कोई पैसेंजर नहीं बिठाया, right? So a plane can fly without passenger. Hence, the relationship is 0 to star or 0 to n. Is that clear, everybody? Minimum is 0 in this case. Is that clear, everybody? A passenger plane relationship is 0 to n. A plane can fly without passenger or multiple passengers. That's why it is a loose relationship. 0 means loose relationship. This is called some relationship, it is called. So first of all, when we connect two classes, when we relate two classes, this concept is called association. So when we connect two objects together, this concept is called association. Guys, one important question here. Is association same as inheritance? Is association same as inheritance? Is association same as inheritance? Is association? No. सबसे बड़ा क्वेश्चन आज की डेट में इंटरव्यू में यही पूछा जाता है. अगर आर्किटेक्ट लेवल इंटरव्यू यू आर गिविंग, this is one question they will ask you, because they want to confuse you. Inheritance is this, it's reusability purpose. Association is actually connecting two different objects. It's not inheritance. It is a relationship between two classes. So if we connect two objects together, this concept is called association. It is a relationship. It is not an inheritance. It is relationship between two classes. Now guys, tell me, what are all the types of relationships we have? First is called aggregation relationship, and second is called composition relationship. What is aggregation relationship? Aggregation relationship says it's a loose coupling. Both objects coexist together. It's a loose coupling. Both the objects coexist together. They can function separately also. Okay, they can also function separately. This is what aggregation is. Look at here. What do you see? Can a plane fly without passenger? Please answer. Can a plane fly without passenger? Of course, yes, it can. Which means a plane object may exist without passenger also. That's why minimum cardinality is 0. Okay, this is called cardinality. The relationship is called cardinality here. Now, ideally, how a plane should fly? It should fly with passenger. So it's a good to have relationship. It's a good to have relationship. Right? Now, next important point. Can a passenger exist without plane? Can a passenger object exist without plane? Yes, it exists. A passenger may travel with bus, with boat, with other public transport material, right? So it can also exist. So both objects can coexist together. They can function separately also. This is called loose coupling, and that's why called aggregation. The representation in symbolic language, this is called UML diagram. What I'm writing is UML, Unified Markup Language, to represent the classes. This is represented using empty rhombus. Okay, this relationship is represented using empty rhombus. It's called aggregation. Is this clear, everybody? The relationship is called association. Relationship is of one of two types. First type is aggregation, second is composition. Now guys, अब आप लोग अगर होशियार हैं तो बता देंगे composition क्या है. What is composition? Anybody? इसी को पढ़ के, can anybody tell me with the reading first line? Can you tell me what is composition? What is composition? Loose coupling को कर दिया tight coupling. Both objects coexist together को क्या करेंगे? What do you do with this? Both object coexist together. We will say both objects must coexist together. Right? They can function. Can they function separately? Can they function separately? No, they have to function. They can only function together. What is good to have relation, guys? Anybody? Good to have relation? It is a must have relation now. अब बताओ, एग्जाम्पल बताओ, ऐसी क्या चीज है जिसके बिना प्लेन उड़ नहीं सकता? इन दिस एग्जाम्पल प्लीज टेल मी, ऐसा क्या है which a plane is incomplete? You have something called engine, you have wings, wheels. Perfect answer. So many examples, guys. You are great. You guys are giving so many examples. Very nice. Wings. You can have engines, right? Engine class, wings class. So plane cannot fly without wings. कभी देखा हवा में wing जा रहा है? Have you ever seen a wing is flying without plane? Anybody? Have you seen a wing flying without plane? No, na? Have you seen a plane flying without wing? No, na? That's exactly what it is. Wing class here is a composite class. It is a composition. It's a tight coupling. Without this, plane cannot fly, or without plane, wings alone cannot fly. It's a tight coupling. It's a tight coupling. It's a composition relationship represented by filled rhombus. Filled rhombus is what we use to represent this relationship. Is this concept of association, aggregation and composition clear to everybody? Golden funda fox here. A property of a class will always be some data type like string, number, boolean, etc., etc. So a property will always be a data type, but an association will always be an object. इसको मत भूल जाना, फंडा फॉक्स है. Association, whether it's a composition, aggregation, it's always be an object with cardinality. 0 to 1, 0 to n, 1 to 1 or 1 to n. These are all the four options you have. Cardinality, which means how many objects are dependent on each other. एक plane 0 to n, multiple passengers it can carry. Okay. Now one plane, so n to m in this case not happens, never happens. Okay. Now in this case class plane here, what is happening is it is contacting wings. So it is possible to fly a plane, let's say with one engine. So if I take engine, at least one engine should be running. Okay. To fly the plane, bare minimum requirement is one engine is must to fly the plane. So 1 to n, you can have multiple engines. Sometimes these planes, these new planes, Boeing planes, they have 3 engines. Yeah. So 1 to n, maybe we can note down here. It's a 1 to n relationship. We have 1 indicating here it's a composition. Jarur hona hi hona hai. This a filled rhombus or 1 means it's hona hi hona hai. Okay. This is what it represents. Any association is always an object. Now, how in context of UI5 this is helpful? Sorry. In context of UI5, how come this whole thing is helpful for us, guys? Yeah. Let's understand first the inheritance, where the inheritance comes into UI5. In UI5, if you look at a control, all the controls, their super class is sap.m.core.control, sorry, sap.ui.core.control class. This is the super class. This is the super class of all the UI controls in SAP UI5. Almost every control, almost every UI control inherit from this class. ये मत भूल जाना, बहुत तकलीफ हो जाएगा. This is the top concept of UI5. Top concept, top notch concept. किसी बुक में नहीं मिलेगा ये तुमको, किसी भी बुक में नहीं मिलेगा. SAP UI control class is the super class for all the UI controls. All the UI controls, almost every UI control. So if I talk about sap.m.button, this class is the super class. UI control class. If you talk about input field, view, so we have by far used three controls, right? SAP M button, SAP M input field, and we also used yesterday a control called SAP UI view. Right, guys? We use these 3 controls by far. For all these classes, the super class is SAP UI core control class. Is that clear, everybody? First part, is that clear? Now what is that they're doing? What type of relationship is this? Anybody? What type of relationship is this? Is this association or is this inheritance? Anybody? Is this association? It's an inheritance. Perfect answer, Vivek. It is inheritance. Anything which you see in the super class, it gets inherited to the child class automatically. Wow. Now इसका example दिखाता हूँ. Come back to any control. Can you see here extends This is the keyword we use to indicate inheritance in JavaScript. Let me note down this in FundaFox. Let me note down the FundaFox, guys. Very important FundaFox for all of you. Coming on your screen, FundaFox. What is the keyword we use to indicate inheritance in JavaScript? So we use extends keyword to indicate inheritance in JavaScript. Clear, everybody? Is this FundaFox, everyone? What do we use to indicate inheritance in JavaScript? We use extends keyword. Now when you see extends, what? Anybody, can you see which class it is extending? Everybody, which class is this extending? Anyone? Which class is this extending? The SAPM button class, completely inheriting from this. So button has its own properties. You see it has own properties, but all the properties which I have may also come from the base class, right? That's the concept of inheritance. Whatever is there in the base class, it comes automatically to the child class. Clear, everybody? Now my second FundaFox for today, very important FundaFox. If you unable to find a method or a property or an aggregation or an event in the class, in the UI control class, what you will do, what you will have to do, you must look at base class. Its parent class में जाके एक बार देख लेना. Clear, everybody? This is the second thing which is important for you. Now let me take an example. I'll go to the view class, sap.ui.view. अरे ये दिखा नहीं रहा है यहाँ पे. Maybe I just do Google SAP UI view in SAP UI5. It should come now. It's not showing. I think it should show. Maybe let's check this one. Yes, here it is. You can see. Can you see the view class also? SAP UI MVC view class also inheriting from control class. Do you all see that, guys? Now I check a method. Yesterday, in yesterday's class, we used a method to place the view in the DOM. Anybody? What was the method we used to place content in the DOM? We used it also day before yesterday also for button, and we use for view also. Place at method, right, guys? Now, do you think this place at method available in the view class? Let's explore. This is our view class. Let's go to methods. Do you see a place at method here? नीचे आ जाओ. They are ordered alphabetically. So KLMNO, LMNO, PQRS. PQRS. Do you see a method place at here between L and R? They are sorted alphabetically. Do you see a method here place at all? नहीं है ना? कहाँ से आया वो method? कैसे use किया? Where did that method come from? What will you do if you're not able to find a property or a method or an event or an aggregation in a class? What will you do? Anybody? What will you do if you're not able to find a method? What will you do? I still did not get my correct answer. I'm just getting something. Please tell me, no, this is not right answer. You will not go to UI core control class all the time. What will you do if you're not able to find a control? What will you do if you're not able to find a property, event or aggregation in a class? What will you do? What did I told you? Perfect answer. Now I got my answer from KS Vivek Hemendra Surya. You have to go to super class. It is not necessary super class is always control class. Super class could be anything which is represented by extends keyword. पहले super class में जाओ. Guys, choose your answers carefully in interview. This is यहाँ पे मारे जाते हो interview में. This is the place where you die in interview. I teach you something, you understand something, and then you do something else. You speak something else. This is the biggest problem. Anubhav, I used to know everything, Anubhav. You taught great, Anubhav. Everything which they asked, I used to know. I answered them everything, Anubhav. Everything. I was so happy with my interview, Anubhav. I used to know everything. But selection nahi hua, Anubhav. Selection nahi hua. Kyun nahi hua selection? What was the problem? Why you didn't get selected? What was the problem, guys? Why you didn't get selected? What was the problem? The problem is with you. You have not phrased the answer correct. You have not conveyed the things which you're supposed to convey technically in the correct manner. I am asking, what will you do when you don't find a property event or something in the child class? What will you do? That's what I'm asking. You are answering control class. Not always control class. You should go to parent class. Guys, with that, quickly an interesting position. We are looking for a cloud architect for ABAP and FIORI background for our client in MENA, as well as a permanent role once the project ends. We'll be doing German visas. We also have multiple openings in USA. So if you are interested, please feel free to drop an email for MENA and Germany location to this email ID, and for USA location this email ID. So if you have the knowledge, then only please drop an email. If you don't have a knowledge, don't waste our time. Okay. Likewise, there are there are abundance of opportunities which are waiting for you around the corner. But knowledge is the key. Knowledge is the key, guys. If you have the knowledge, you are most welcome. Otherwise, you are just wasting your time and my time. I am getting almost every week about 5 to 6 openings on different location. दुनिया में कहाँ जाना चाहते हो, वहां की ओपनिंग मेरे पास है. किसी को पाकिस्तान जाना है तो पाकिस्तान की भी ओपनिंग है मेरे पास में. किसी को दुबई जाना है, ऑस्ट्रेलिया, अमेरिका, सिंगापुर, मलेशिया, यूरोप, चाइना, जापान, which country you want to go, I have an opening for you. But do you have the guts to say, Anubhav, I can crack the interview? Do you have that guts to say that you can crack the interview? I have opening for every single corner in the world. UI5 is booming, guys. UI5 FIORI, this is the doorstep for success today for you. I'm almost getting this. I've sent it to all my students who have attended training by far with me. You will also keep getting it once you complete this course. Okay, coming back. So that's the super class. It doesn't matter what it is. It's a super class for me. Click on the super class. It navigates to the super class. And now, guys, go to the methods. You scroll down. Tuck, tuck, tuck. Do you see a place at method somewhere? IJKLMNOP. Do you see a place at method, guys? Now hope you understood where that method is coming from. Some of you have yesterday went inside UI5 SDK. They shooted a question to me, Anubhav. I went into the code of view object, view class. I don't find place at method. Where are you reading that method from? Hope you got an idea today. Where do we read the method from? Where did we get this method from? We got it from the parent class. Yeah. Similarly, you see get visible, set visible. Remember that day I used get visible, set visible for button? Where did I got it from? It's there in the parent class. For the button class, this is also the parent class. Almost every UI5 UI element, this is the class, this is the super class for them. I can also click on view subclasses and boom, there you go. You see, kitna sara subclasses hai. This class is the parent class of almost every UI5 class. बाप का भी बाप होता है क्योंकि सास भी कभी बहू थी. What do you mean? Does this class also has a parent class? Who will tell me? If it has, what is the name? Anybody? What is the parent class for this class? Does this has a parent class? Perfect answer. Very good. Extends, you can see element is the parent class for this. If I want to draw this, then I should say SAP UI core element class. Very good answer. सब कुछ सामने लिखा हुआ है, बस नजर चाहिए देखने के लिए. Everything is at front of you. So this class also inheriting from some class, and this is SAP UI core element class. Clear everybody? कुछ उससे भी आ रहा है. Now Let's go to the element class. Do you think the element class also has some parent class? Anybody? Do you think element class also has some parent class? Do you think it has? Yes, it has. What is the name? Managed object is the parent class. कितना ऊपर जाओगे? It is SAP UI base is the library managed objects. That's the parent class for element class. Clear everybody? This is the flow. Are you guys clear with the diagram? Are you all guys clear with the diagram, guys? Are you all clear? Okay. So it is inheriting from these classes. Okay. What is an abstract class? An abstract class, just a core information on object oriented. It cannot be instantiated directly. An abstract class cannot be instantiated directly. You cannot instantiate this class directly. You can't create an object of this class directly. Either you want to create an object, or this also is abstract, which means it's only a template. It's serving as a template which is used for inheritance only. Okay, somebody want to create an object, they can't use this class. It is used only for template. This is why it's abstract. Okay, it cannot be used itself. You can't create an object of this class directly, but you can create an object of button class directly, because that's not a template class. You can create an object of view class directly. It is not an abstract class. Okay, so that's the inheritance hierarchy of SAP UI5. Let us go ahead and see some examples now. So that's about inheritance, how it works. Now coming to aggregation. Aggregation कैसे काम करता है UI5 में? Let me take an example. If you see sap.ui.table class, this class has an aggregation. A table, what a table needs to display the data? Anybody? What is that minimum a table would need to display the data? Anybody? What is the table need? It needs rows and columns. Exactly, guys. So if you see a table class, there is a row aggregation, SAP UI table library dot row. This is an aggregation. SAP UI dot table library dot column. Column object is aggregating to table. SAP UI table dot table is the table main class. अगर टेबल बनाना है तो रोज चाहिएगा और कॉलम्स चाहिएगा. This is why the rows and column class are aggregation. Aggregation means minimum is 0. You can have a table without row, without a column. It's an empty table. So SAP has kept it very flexible for you. If you just create a table, you can create an empty table without row column also. Okay, that's why it's all aggregation. Is this clear, guys? Aggregation example. When we go into system, we will understand more in detail about aggregation. This is one example in context of UI5, how the relationship is working, how the inheritance is working. Is that clear, everybody? Both the examples, these are very important examples to understand the relationship between object. If this relationship is clear to you, half of the UI5 is understood to you. Half of the UI5 is understood to you if this is clear to you. Let us go ahead and now write some funda foxes. These are top notch funda foxes, guys. शुरू के सेशन में बहुत मेहनत करना है, आगे बहुत मजा आएगा. Funda foxes. Some funda foxes. The first funda fox. Whenever you see a property inside a class, for every property, we will have setter and getter methods in the class. Example, if we see a text property, we will have set text and get text method. Is this first funda fox clear, everybody? Let me show you once again. I go back to our button class which we practiced. You see the button class, or I go to input class this time for a change. Go to input class. In this input class, if you see a property, okay, let me go to properties. You see date format property, description format property. You will see a lot of properties are there. There is something called a value property. Guys, I don't see value property here. What to do? Anybody? I don't see value property in my input class. What to do, guys? What to do if I don't see? Go to parent class. Perfect answer. Maja aa gaya. Maja aa gaya. What is the parent class? Input base class. Go there. So I go to input base class. Now it's go to properties. And now come down. Voila. Can you see the value property of input field, guys, here? This defines the value of the input field. Now, what do you think if there's a value property, what will it have? Just now with the first funda fox, if there is a value property, what will you have inside? You will have set value and get value methods. Let's come down. Do you see a get value method, guys, to get the value? Guys, do you see that method, get value? There will be a set method also. There will be a set value also, guys. There you go, set value. This is how these methods are created. There is every property, there are setter and getter methods available. Is that clear, everybody? For every property, there is a setter and getter method available to you. Is that clear, everybody? Yes? Now, moving next. For every aggregation, for every important aggregation, there is also set or add method available. Let me show you an example. In select control, we have items aggregation. Hence, there is a add item and remove item method available. This you will learn over a period of time. You're going to see this. So let me go to drop down control in SAP UI5. It's called select control. In this select control, when you go and check, there is something called items aggregation. See, and see, guys, 0 to n cardinality, which means it's an aggregation. What is always an aggregation represent? What comes inside this aggregation always? Anybody? What comes? Is this a property comes string, boolean? What comes inside an aggregation? What comes and sit inside an aggregation? Anybody? Just now I taught you only the objects will come. What is the type of object of this aggregation? SAP UI core item. Can you see? SAP UI core item is the aggregation type. ये देखो ये भी object है. Click करो ये देखो object पे ले आया. So this is aggregation, always an object, guys. Always. Aggregations are always objects. They are written here. The cardinality written here. Now for this items aggregation, if you go to methods, you will see something called add item method. See, bind items method, bind aggregation name. Yeah. So add items, bind items, and there will be a remove item also. To work with the aggregation, you have remove, add, set, get methods, remove all items. You see a lot of methods are there. Remove item is there. So there are methods for handling the aggregation. So for every important aggregation, I am saying there will be setter, add, set, add, remove, bind, etc. There are different methods. They are exist today for every important aggregation in the system. Clear, everybody? There are methods for aggregation, handling aggregations also. I want to add a new element, new item to my drop down. I can do that with add item method and pass an object of a new item inside. Clear? So that's about aggregation. For every event, there must be fire, attach, detach, fire, attach, detach methods available. Okay. What do they do? Suppose if you don't want to click on the button, but you want to trigger or simulate the button click, you can use fire event name. Okay. You want to simulate the button click, you can use fire the event name to trigger and refresh event. Attach and detach are used to dynamically bind a function to your event. Let me show you how can we do that. So I can come back in our view. I'll create another button. I have created a new button, and this button is show some power. What I will do in show some power, I will now not put this press event handler kill me. Okay, I'm not putting it. See guys, what will happen now? Anybody? When I run this, what will happen when I run this now? System will get you 3 buttons. Okay, sorry, button class name is same. It should not be same. I will get 2 buttons. So come back and refresh. Now guys, I don't see my output coming. What do I do? Who is your best friend when output does not come? What is the first thing you will do when output does not come? Perfect answer, press F12. F12 is your best friend. See, cannot read property 0 of undefined. Something went wrong in the view.js. Here you see something went wrong. Okay, something went wrong. Cannot read property 0 of undefined. It's giving me something went wrong. I think the reason show some power method which we declared is not available in the controller. Okay, that's why it's giving the error. So let me put show some power also. I put it, and now come back, refresh. You can see it's coming up. Now guys, what was the functionality for kill me? If I enter some value here, that data should come in the pop-up, right? That was the functionality. What did we do? We removed it. I want, listen carefully. I want when user click on show power button, it should attach the event handler for kill me button, which means initially kill me button is not working. I click on the show power button, and this button should give some power to kill me button. Are you getting this? I want to click on show power, and when I click on show power, it should give power to kill me. So I click on this button, and dynamically I want to attach an event handler to kill me button. That's what I want to do. How can we do that? So in show some power, first get the object of your kill me button. What is the ID of kill me button? It's ID btn. Let's get that. So var go kill me equals to SAP. Please mute your line. Who is this? Please mute your line. Dot by ID, and I pass the ID of the button. Now this is the button, kill me button. I want to give power, and I can say now this dot attach press. Hey, can you please attach press? Please attach press. What to attach? Please attach this kill me method. Okay, and in this now you want to use controller object. So kill me method is actually a controller method. इसी controller का object है. They both belongs to same controller class. Don't you think they both belongs to same controller class? So now I want to use here the controller object within the method. If you want to use class object within the class method, which keyword in ABAP do you use? If you want to use class object within the class, in ABAP you use me keyword. In JavaScript we use this keyword, guys. Is that clear, everybody? In JavaScript, we use this keyword. Let me note down this. Very important funda, folks. Very important funda, folks. So if we want to use object of controller within the controller methods, we must use this pointer. Clear, everybody? The next funda, folks. By default, this object represent the object of control itself inside the method. Okay, so if I use this here, it won't work. Ideally this should represent the object of my controller, Anubhav, right? But it won't. So if I say kill me, I'm attaching this method dynamically, guys. You see I'm attaching kill me dynamically to attach press, but this ideally should be object of controller, but वो नहीं होगा. This will represent the object of the button which triggered the event. This button, it is what represents this pointer. So this pointer is actually that button object which triggered the event. So you have to explicitly tell, hey UI5, I don't want in show power method, I don't want this pointer to represent my button object. I want this to be represent my controller object. So you have to explicitly pass the controller object to it. Say array O controller, like this you have to pass. This is very important step. If you miss out, your output will not come. What we are doing here, let me note down this. By default, this object represents the object of control. The button का object represent कर रहा है वो वहाँ पे. In order to forcefully system to initialize this pointer with controller object, we must pass the object of controller to the event handler by using syntax event name O controller dot handler comma O controller. Then only you can use this pointer as controller object. Clear, everybody? Otherwise this pointer inside event handler ये उस button को ही represent करेगा जिसने ये event fire किया है. This event was fired by a button. So this pointer by default represent that button object. Again I repeat, there is a button, you click on this button, it fires the event. So in this event handler, this pointer represents this button object only. It is not pointing to the controller object. We want it to point to controller object. That's why we have to explicitly pass controller object, because I want to refer to a method kill me which belongs to controller. Okay guys, this is why this example, a lot of concepts are covered in this example. Now I save this and now watch out, come back and test it, guys. Come back, refresh and say Anubhav is here, and now when I click me, kill me, nothing is happening. Watch out, I say show power, it attach an event dynamically to my event handler to this button. Click on the button, boom, there you go. You can see the functionalities in action. That's the magic what it does. You can see the power of attaching an event dynamically. Attach press. With this we attached and kill me event handler to my button, kill me button. Clear, everybody? This covers many concepts. We learned 3 concepts: event handler concept, this pointer concept, how to pass controller object to this pointer, and attach press, how to dynamically attach to an event handler method. Clear, everybody? Is that clear, everybody? The important funda foxes for today's session, the passing controller object to the event handler. And remember one another funda fox, this is applicable only for JavaScript view. In XML view it is natural. You don't have to do this activity for XML view. This is only applicable for JavaScript views. Okay, only for JavaScript views it is applicable. Okay, this is what is applicable only for JavaScript. Alert is not allowing in WebID full stack. Ramana, it will allow, it will give you just a red, but it will still work. Ramana, you can continue. It will give you red mark, but it will allow you. There are two things. One is guidance, one is allow. There is a road. When you are traveling on a road, road is telling you red signboard saying warning, aage khatra hai. But does that signboard stop you? Does that signboard stop you on the road to proceed? No, you can still proceed and face the challenge what you have. No problem. So you can still proceed and review the result. This is not a showstopper in WebID full stack. Can we see the view tab again, please? Which view tab you want me to see, Case? Which view tab you want me to see? View.js you want to see? Okay, let's go. Here is your view.js. Okay. I will anyway give you the source code as usual in our training blog. You can take it. Okay. That's what you can do it. Cool. So that's it for the day. Let me give an exercise for today. Let's see how many of you can do that exercise. It's a very important concept which we learned today. Majority of the course today's class was theory, but it's an important theory without which we can't proceed. Exercise for today. What you got to do? Exercise. What you have to do? Design two buttons. On click of first button, dynamically attach the event handler for second button. When second button is pressed, hide the first button. Let's see how many of you can complete this exercise. More than this, I can't tell anything in this exercise. Okay. So you have to try to understand this and try to finish. Read every single line, every single word carefully. You will understand what is this exercise is all about. Very easy to achieve. Very, very easy. Hardly 2 minutes work. So with that, it's a wrap on today's class. I'll catch you up tomorrow at the same time. We're going to see some more interesting concepts on SAP UI5 in the next class. Yes, please.
Yeah, Deepak this side. One quick question to you. Suppose my function resides in some other file, other JS file, not the controller. So can we call that?
That is what topic for next class. We will learn about scaffolding template in tomorrow's class.
Okay, fine.
Scaffolding template we will learn. That's where you will do working model of how to reuse things between the UI5 project. If one JS file, another JS file, how will they coordinate with each other? We're going to do that in next class. Any other questions? Anybody before we close? Shri Devi, you were facing some issue. Were you able to solve that, Shri Devi? Some issue you were facing, you were not getting that view option. Shri Devi, were you able to solve? Okay. What was the issue? Can you please unmute your line? Your line is muted. Can you please unmute and tell us what was the problem?
Hello?
Yeah, we can hear you. Go ahead, please.
Sir, actually there is some issue in my office laptop and in my laptop it's working fine.
Okay, fine. She is one of my best students. Till date, every single exercise which I gave, she gave the answer for every single exercise. Must appreciate you for your effort. Keep doing good work like this. You will definitely be cracking many interviews in upcoming days. Thank you so much. With that, it's a wrap. See you tomorrow. Have a nice day.
Anubhav,
Goodbye. Yes, please.
yeah, we are having a video issue actually. We are controls are missing. We are unable to enlarge the video much. Recorded
Yeah,
session.
guys, I know the video issues. I'm in contact with Google site owners to fix up that issue. I completely understand, but I have tried at least one good thing for you guys. I made it little bigger. Okay, so if you go to our training blog, videos are still there. Somehow it's not a showstopper for you, but screen size cannot be made bigger. You can see it's playing up here. The screen size, I tried to make it little bigger, but could not make it bigger, and there's no full screen option coming. I understand that. I'm working on it, guys. I'm talking to Google about it. This is a issue in Google. You see, earlier our videos used to buffer cache easily, but now these videos are not caching up properly. Okay, you are able to maximize the video. How come we are not able to do? Can you please unmute your line, Vivek? How come you are able to maximize the video?
Yes, when I'm playing the video, on the right hand side bottom of the video there is a little square that appears, and when you click on it, it showed me the
But for
video
me also it is not coming. Can you share your screen, Vivek? I want.
Yes, I'll play.
Yeah, please share your screen. I'll give you presenter rights.
Okay.
It will give you some access to, it will ask for some download. Just download
Okay.
that, please.
Okay.
But unfortunately that option not coming for me. How come? Not for me and not for many of you.
Okay, so let me. Are you able to see my screen?
Not yet.
Okay.
You will see a nice small button to share your screen there. It'll say share my, yeah, now I can, yes, please. Go ahead to the training block.
Okay.
Scroll down.
So is it happening for all videos or some videos only?
Only last two videos which we have, MVC and UI5 introduction we are asking.
Oh, okay, okay.
Okay.
Yeah,
This is expected, yeah. So you see here we don't have full screen option, right? That is what we are asking for. No problem. I will work on it, guys. I'm working on it, guys. Please give me some time. I'm sure this issue get resolved soon. Please give me some time. Okay. Please give me some time. I understand it's an issue for you guys. It is a issue, but it's not a showstopper. Still, you can proceed, listen, and watch the video. You can do one thing, Vivek. Can you play the video
Yes.
at the bottom, the one which doesn't have the full screen option?
Yes.
Yeah, please play. And can you do control and upper scroll bar? With control, use upper scroll bar. Control, upper scroll bar. Control and upper scroll bar. Press control key of your keyboard and use upper
Yeah.
scroll bar.
Okay.
Scroll up. Just use press control.
Yes,
scroll up.
Yes, I did. Control and up arrow or upper scroll bar?
No. Scroll up. Just press control and just scroll up.
Okay. Okay.
Basically, it will increase the zoom level of your browser.
Oh, got it.
It will zoom the browser and then you can maximize it. See guys, this is one workaround you guys can use right now to zoom up the video and watch it. Hope it is clear, guys. This is one workaround. Try to play smart. Try to play smart, guys. You are engineers. Engineers के पास हर चीज का आंसर होता है. आप लोग छोटी सी चीज में घबरा जाते हो. ये नहीं चल रहा है, वो नहीं चल रहा है. Try to play smart. What was wrong? What was wrong in scrolling up with control key and zooming the browser? If you're not able to do full screen mode, this is also one option ना. ये देखो मस्त चल रहा है, कितना अच्छा लग रहा है. Yes, so you can do this for time being. It's not at all a showstopper for any one of you. I know there's an issue. It's a dependency on Google. I can't also help it. I need to talk to Google for that. I'm in touch with Google for the same, but they will take some time. Google is big company. They don't address my issue alone. They have billions of issues on their forums. Yeah. So this is the reason. Thank you so much. See you tomorrow. Goodbye.